Hello, welcome to Monday stream. Today we're gonna do chemical bonding. So yeah, chemical bonding for this whole week, for Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And Monday and Wednesday are supposed to be warm-up sessions. That means that it gets you to practice the chapters as a whole. And by the time it's Friday, it'll be the challenging questions. And for this week, what's at stake will be $100 worth of either GrabFood vouchers or stationaries. What happened is that how will people get it is you will be getting your Friday session as long as you get more than 50%, which is the passing mark for Friday sessions. Your name will be pulled and get into a wheel, and then we will spin the wheel for a lucky draw, and then whoever wins. Okay, I think there is some technical issues earlier on, but I think I'm back now. Okay, good. So same thing, if you just type hi or type something in chat, your Kirby will spawn with the whole small little thing walking around. Okay, so we will be okay. So today we will be doing chemical bonding. So in general, there's chemical bonding. Okay, and chemical bonding splits into ionic bonding and covalent bonding and metallic bonding. Okay, so in this case, ionic will be on metal and non-metal, and then there will be transfer of electrons. And last week we did mention about on metals, then you have like 2, 8, 1. You look at the last number. If it's 1, 2, 3, they'll be considered as metals, right? If there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, they'll be considered as non-metals. And covalent will be non-metal and non-metal, and then they share electrons, and this will be transfer electrons from metal to non-metal. Then metallic will be just metal and metal forming a mixture of metals most of the time. And if it's a mixture of metals, there'll be alloy. So alloy. So that's that. Okay, so alloy will be positively charged with a bunch of sea of electrons, which is a bunch of electrons. And electrons will help conduct electricity. So in general, when it comes to conducting electricity, there are 2 different types of charge carriers. The 2 different charge carriers will be ions, called mobile ions, and mobile electrons. Okay, so even if it's electrons, sometimes you don't like the word mobile, you turn it to the word free moving, delocalize, etc. Right? So that's that. Okay, so it's 9:05. Relatively slow day, but it's fine. We're gonna start in a minute's time. We will have Nicole and Salmon Teriyaki that's currently joining. Okay. Other than dance and jump, what can the Kirby do? Can we dance and jump? Okay, it's 9:06. Okay, Bob is here. Hey, Bob. Okay, same thing. We'll be starting in a minute's time. You can get the room code from Discord. So okay, so we got Lala, Bob, Nico, and Salmon Teriyaki so far. So okay, it's 9:07. Without further ado, let's start. Okay, let's go. This will be 6th of June Kahoot on first Kahoot session on chemical bonding. Okay, the diagram shows part of the periodic table. There are different parts of periodic table, and it forms covalent and ionic stuff. Okay, so be careful. How do you tell whether something is metal, non-metal? And then how do you pair them up between covalent and ionic? Forty seconds to go. Okay, so in this case, right, if you look at the question says that, okay, well, whoever picked blue, W and Y, okay, W is group 2. Okay, when it comes to W, it should be group 2. So let's take a look. So if you look at this, W should be group 2. Group 2 is a metal. So W is a metal. X is a metal because it's transition metal. Y is a non-metal. Ionic should be metal plus non-metal. Whereas covalent should be non-metal plus non-metal. Right? So if you were to pair it up that way, W shouldn't exist in the covalent world. So yeah, so in this case, answer should either be C or D. But since this one is X and Y form covalent, makes sense. Y and Z form covalent also makes sense. They are all non-metals. Then X and Z is metal, non-metal. W and Y is W and Y is possible, but in this case, X and Y it's metal, non-metal. So this is also a metal. So C is also out. So if you identify all the metals, answer automatically should be D, because covalent is non-metal, non-metal, whereas ionic is metal, non-metal. Okay. Moving forward. M and N are following compositions. So which of the following is true? Metal, non-metal. So in general, ionic things dissolve in water, covalent stuff dissolve in organic solvent. Okay, so organic solvent is for covalent stuff. Thirty seconds to go. Do try to practice elimination to like get the answers. Okay, in this case, right, we need to look at the periodic the proton number. M is 281. N for Netherlands is 26. So 281 last number is 1 is a metal. 26 is a non-metal. Metal, non-metal should form chemical bonds of ionic bonding. So M and N should form ionic, and ionic should be soluble in water and not organic solvent. Organic solvent is meant for covalent bonding. So answer would be yellow because of the charge of 1 plus and 2 minus. Okay. Be careful, yeah? You're looking for how many electrons are not involved. Not involved. So more than often when things are not involved, it can either be not involved in valence electrons. It can also be the inner shell, like, you know, yes. So in this case, right, 0 is actually correct, but it's for 0 is none of the valence shell is not involved, but carbon is 2.4. So each carbon has an inner shell of 2 electrons that are not involved. So first carbon is 2, second carbon is 2, add up to be 4 of them. Okay, so the red one is correct if they uses the word how many valence electrons are not involved in bonding. Answer will be then red. But in this case, if they just say electrons in general, we need to count the inner layer shells. Okay, so there we see something like a Rubik's Cube. that means that 4 corners are different roundish stuff, and then it draws a cube. That itself is a ionic lattice crystal. And with the ionic lattice crystal, which compound cannot have this arrangement? So you need to count the number of black and whites in terms of ratios. So in this case, the positive is the white spot, the negative is the... Okay, so what happened now is that if you look at this, the in this picture, there are basically 4 black circles and 4 white circles. That means that the circles of black to white ratio is 1:1. If you look at the selection, Cu is CuNO3 is 1 copper to 1 NO3. Zinc sulfate is 1 Zn to 1 SO4. Sodium chloride is 1 Na to 1 Cl. In this case, the first one is 1:2, 1 Ca to 2 Cl2. So only the red one is not and cannot have this arrangement because it's 1:2 in between the positive and the negative. Which of the statement is true? So okay, in this case, right, P and R will combine to form a covalent compound because P is 2.4, R is 2.8.6. Non-metal, they share electrons with each other to form covalent. So blue is correct. Yellow is Q and S. Q will be 2.5, S will be 2.8.8.2 for 20. So is metal, non-metal, is ionic, correct. However, if S is going to be in terms of charge, right? So let's see. So in terms of charge, if I were to do that, we are looking at Q and S. Q will be 2.5, that's 3 minus. S will be 2.8.8.2. S will be 2 plus. Q will be 3 minus. Cross, this is 3, this is 2. You get S3, Q2. So with S3, S3Q2 rather than compared to S2Q3. That's why yellow is not correct. So you do the crossing. This is a tricky question, so please take note, especially of something about the Q. Okay, nice. Okay, this question as a whole, right, is very tricky. Reason is because, okay, number one, this is a covalent. Okay, this whole thing is covalent. What's the definition of covalent? It has to be non-metal and non-metal. Okay, given that if it's non-metal and non-metal, group 1 is a metal, so group 1 cannot be involved in it. So the trick lies in a lot of students say, hey, Q is like only give 1, so it must be group 1. That's not true. Only non-metal can share electrons. So in other words, C is out. Okay, then when it comes to D, so by sharing 1, Q most likely is group 7. And then when it comes to P, the tricky part lies in you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then the other P is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5 valence electrons rather than 6. They want you to trick to double count the center to get a weird funky number. So that's why D is not correct. In this case, P will be group 5, Q will be group 7. Answer will be B. B for boy. This is a tricky question. So yes. Whoa, that's someone who answered super fast. Wow, okay. Be careful, yeah. So copper conducts electron. Copper is a metal. Something mobile electron something. Okay. So in this question, compared 2 and 3, number 2, copper conducts heat because of free moving electrons. So number 2, it's easy. Number 3, copper ions are held together. So what are metallic bonding about? It's because it's the attraction between copper ions, which are positive, and negative electrons. It's positive ions and negative electrons. Not if ions and ions positive and positive, it will repel each other. So number 3 is not correct. It is because positive metal ions and negative electrons. Oh, okay. So this one, it's figuring out the charge. 50 seconds. Okay. So in these questions, right, so what happened is you have to figure out the charge. Okay, so when it comes to the charge, n is 3 minus, so x will be 3 plus, so 3 plus 3 minus. When it comes to oxalate ions, it should be C2O4 2 minus. So if you cross it, it should be X2 C2O4, because it's a big thing, so you have a bracket 3. So okay, so in this case, let me, rather than saying, let me show you. Okay. So let's clean this up. Okay, so in this case, right, since it's X and N most likely is going to be 3 minus. So X is going to be the 3 plus in order to have the cancel effect to get XN. So if X is 3 plus, C2O4 is going to be 2 minus. Cross this is 2, cross this is 3. Then you get X2, open bracket, C2O4, close bracket 3. So we have to notice that N here is 3 minus, so that 3 plus here can be obtained. So yes, okay, that's the idea of it. So this one, there's wait a minute, why is there 2, 3, 4? Why is there 4? Huh. Okay. Interesting. Okay. The answer is 2, 3, 4. I have no idea. I think the picture got cut off. Okay, so what happened is, number 1 is definitely wrong because PQ isotopes must have the same number of protons. So P is 6 protons, Q is 7 protons, so they cannot be the same. Then 2, for P and R, they will combine to form covalent bonds. P is 2.4, R is 2.8.6, so they combine to find covalent compounds. Whereas for Q will be, Q is 2.5, S is 2.8.2, so form ionic. Oh no, there are people who pick blue. Yeah, I understand. Blue, technically blue and green both should be correct. Some technical error on this. Okay, we will take note on this. Oh, Bob got it. Okay, which statement about covalent compounds is correct? Okay, in this case, covalent compounds share electrons with each other. When it comes to high melting point, due to electrostatic forces of attraction, that's referring to ionic. So yes. Hey, hello. Hey, Walid. Okay, question 11. Which row shows the general properties of CCl2, calcium chloride? So calcium chloride in this case is... yeah, Wallet, I borrow you my luck, okay? But remember, you give me back to me. Pray for all of the good luck to align so that you could do very good for chemistry paper 1. So calcium chloride is ionic. So okay, so calcium chloride is ionic. Metal, non-metal. So calcium donates, gives and transfer electron from calcium to chlorine. So they must be able to conduct electricity in liquid and aqueous, but not in solid. Okay, so melting point should be high. So answer in this case should be B. So melting point low normally should be referring to covalent compounds. Good to hear that you're well prepared, yeah? Okay, moving on. Okay, question 12. When a covalent liquid boils, its molecules become more widely spread. So in this case, as it boils, it changes states, right? So it becomes more widely spread. Which property of molecules influence the energy required to boil a covalent liquid? So for it to change state. Yeah, that's true. I mean, all you need to do is just do your best. I mean, everything else, no, results are temporary. Just understanding why something's correct, why something's wrong, and over time, I think you'll feel more well prepared. That anxiety will feel a little bit better. But of course, all of us do care about the results, right? So I understand. Nice. So in this case will be forces of attraction between the molecules. So when it comes to state change of states in covalent compound, especially simple molecular structure, it should be always related to intermolecular forces of attraction, or what we call intermolecular forces, also known as this name called van der Waals forces. So yes. The covalent bonds are never broken for state change. If covalent bonds are broken, it becomes thermal decomposition. Okay, question 13 is another cross and dot diagram drawing questions. Generally, if like people are well prepared, right? I think okay, so 1 molecule of ethanol. So something to do with the lines. If you know what the lines refers to, will help you to find out. Yeah. So what happened is, if you find the lines, each one line represents 2 electrons. So if you count the lines as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, there's 8 lines in total in the drawing. 8 times 6, remember you have to times 6. Either it's 8 pair of electrons or 16 electrons, because 8 times 2, each line represents 2 electrons. So yes. Okay, so that's X and Y. So oh yeah, yes, I was saying that it usually, for hitting a nice A for paper 1, if there's 40 questions, usually 30 out of 40 is a comfortable mark. Anything higher than that should secure that. Okay, so in this case, it is 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It should be ionic. If you do the crossing, you should get XY2. So answer would be D. Moving forward. Okay, to question 16, the diagram below shows a molecule of ammonia. How many pairs of shared electrons are there in a molecule of ammonia? Okay, so they're referring to pairs, yeah? Be careful, it's pairs. Hey Walid, you can post the questions on Discord. I check them more often actually. You can put it on Discord, and it's easier for me to reply to you. It will be more personalized to you as well. Okay, nice. So in this case, we talk about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 pairs of electrons. Rather than 6 pairs, sorry. There are 6 electrons and 3 pairs. Okay, so yes. Hey, well, the next stream will be on Wednesday. Streams will happen on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 p.m. Question 17. Which properties represents those of an ionic compound? So this should be all about ionic compounds. Okay, in this case, right, ionic compound should be able to conduct only in molten and aqueous and not conductive in solid. The only thing they can conduct in solid is a metal and an alloy. Oh yes, stickfish. This is question 18. Right. It's okay, stickfish. Thanks. Okay, so question 18 will be I would just say tricky because they wrap the concept in an example. concentration of phthalate is likely to be a substance P? In this case, this is a bit tricky because I think you can narrow down your answer to 2. Then between the two, there is, you have to choose one. That's one of the challenge. Because one of them, when you heat it, it will thermo decompose. One of them, it doesn't. Yes. Okay, everyone got it. Ammonium chloride actually should also able to, but the main thing is ammonium chloride is going to be an ionic compound, and with an ionic compound, but as you heat up, it will thermo decompose. So therefore, it cannot be consistently heated. It will thermo decompose to form ammonia gas and chlorine gas, hydrogen chloride. Okay, question 19. There is element X can be represented by 2, 28, and 13x. The configuration of Y is 2.7. What is the formula form? Good. In this case, answer will be yellow. So because X, it will be 2.8.3, so it's 3 plus. Y will be 2.7, so Y will be minus. If you cross it, you should get XY3 rather than X3Y. So you need to be able to do the crossing. Okay. What? Question 12? This is question 20. P2Q. So that's... Which of the following pairs of elements are correct? Nice. In this case, right, if you count the valence electrons, P has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dots. The crosses are from the Q, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So P is from group 7, Q is from group 6. Answer 7 will be fluorine, group 6 will be sulfur. Answer will be C. When it comes to B, oxygen is group 6, chlorine is group 7. It's directly upside down. If it's P is chlorine, Q is oxygen, that will be correct as well. So let's go. This is day 3 of Kahoot sessions of June holidays. This will be on the first day we do chemical bonding. So there will be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So today, Monday, is the first session of chemical bonding. Then there will be Wednesday at 9 as well, and Friday at 9 as well. Okay, so congrats. Okay, I'll be hanging around on Discord more often nowadays, since waiting for students to post questions, or some students that if you need any help, do drop help, and I will send help from there. Else, if there's nothing much, I will see everyone on Wednesday at 9. It'll be the second session of chemical bonding. Okay, so chemical bonding, we'll come up with slightly different questions compared to what we have today as well. So you have a more well-rounded revision on this chapter. Okay? Thank you, everyone. Yep. Good night. Bye-bye.